Alright, so there's a new sound and drum bounce which is taking over the UK right now. And the first viral song with this new sound was called Uptown by Loski and Cartier.
We're big and uptown, and I got my beat on. Just like me, you got most.
And now Cartier is back at it again with 2 new tracks, this time enlisting OG US rapper Lil Yachty to feature on both of the tracks.
Here we go, here we go, here we go again.
So today we'll be uncovering all the secrets behind this emerging sound and how to make it. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. So we're in the FL Studio and you can see the BPM still around that drill BPM 140 to 150. For this project we're in 142 and I've pulled up a dark pad from Analog Lab and I'm just going to create some sort of basic chords. I'm going to keep it simple, something like this, just a fifth and then an octave. Gives us a good foundation to build off. Now it's time to layer that with some more full chords, and I've pulled up this band for band multi-key preset. I think I'm gonna start with just a simple triad, see how that sounds, and do the same down here. I'm gonna just keep them nice and short like this. I like how this first triad is sounding, but the second triad is a little bit too happy, so I'm just gonna see how it sounds as an octave. Way better. Using the same sound, I'm gonna mess around and add some notes to create a little melody which leads into each on beat. So I've kept it super simple. I've only used 4 notes and I made sure to use these tension notes because those work really good, these more dark kind of beats. And to create variation, I've just pitched this G up to a B. So here's how this sounds all together. So next I thought we were lacking a bit of high end, so I went back into Analog Lab and copy and pasted the original chords that we had with this preset. As you can hear, simple layering really can elevate your beats and take them to that industry level. So I'm pretty happy with what we've got here, but I think I'm going to add one more little counter melody sound. So I found this sound from Analog Lab once again. Super experimental, and I've just gone and made a simple pattern with it. Honestly, this pattern is as simple as you can get, and that's a theme throughout all of these drill beats. However, this sound doesn't blend in with the melody how I'd like it to, so it's time to go and add some effects. First thing I did is went in with a pretty heavy EQ. Next up, a little bit of Moog Fuga delay. Another EQ, just cutting out some of those lows and highs again. Fruity flanges on 62% just to make the sound a little bit more thinner. And then lastly, a Valhalla room to put it a bit more in the background. So I'm going to play it without the effects, and then I'm going to add them in about halfway through. With effects. So you can definitely hear how much of a difference processing makes. I think adding a vocal could totally elevate this melody. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so sick of scrolling through Splice just to hear a bunch of terrible vocals and eventually settle on something only half decent. And that's where my multi-kit London Archives comes in. I've got a bunch of vocals in there, vocal hooks, and phrases. Now the phrases are super sick, you can just drag and drop them in, and 90% of the time they'll already sound good, but for this one I'm feeling creative, so I'm going to drag in one of the vocal hooks and try and flip it into a phrase that fits this melody. The vocal hook I'm going to use is this one here, Young Flame. Here's how it sounds, totally raw, straight out of the kit. Super fire, you could drag that in and make some like melodic central C beat, but I'm going to chop this up and make it fit this melody. Okay, so I've chopped that vocal hook, pitched it up by 6 semitones so it's in key with the rest of the melody, and here's how those chops are sounding. These vocals are super crazy, and this is with no effects at all. As you can see, it's not routed to a track, that's just straight out of the kit. And as much as it sounds fire straight out of the kit, I think adding a few effects for this one could elevate it even more. So what I've done is I've consolidated it, chop it up a little bit more, and added some effects. So first, I've gone on with the EQ just to cut those super low lows and boost the high mids a little bit. Next, I pulled in this warm, wide, doubled vocal effect rack preset from London Archives once again, and then a little chorus drift from H910 Harmonizer. So this is a vocal now with the effects on. If I turn them off, back on, as you can hear, it makes the vocals just pop a little bit more and really come alive, adds that emotion. With these vocals done, that's the final element of our melody. Now it's time to move on to the drums. So for these new gen type of beats, I've actually found it easier to start with the 808 and then build around that. So that's what I'm going to do in this beat as well. I'm just going to go ahead and start pasting in a simple pattern. It's important to keep these 808 patterns pretty simple. I think I'm happy with how this is sounding. Pulled up this Huzz 808 from my London Archives drum stash. And with that Huzz 808, I've just added these 2 notes at the end of the pattern and panned them either side, which sounds like this. And this Huzz 808 pairs really well with the Evicted 808. So I just put that here and pan it to the opposite direction. So that sounds like this. You can hear them all really working well together to kind of bring a nice ending to the pattern. Final little bit of 808 sauce I did was pitch up this Huzz 808 and add a delay to it, so it sounds like this. As for the effects for that, you know, delayed Huzz 808, all we have is an EQ actually doing nothing, a fruity delay which looks like this, you can copy it, and then a flanger as well, and some Valhalla room. All those different 808s really keep the ear guessing and really build into, you know, the pattern restarted. Finally, with the 808s out the way, it's time to get onto the top line, snares, hats, all of that shit. So for the drums, if you listen to the Uptown song, you'll hear at first a little reverse effects sort of thing and an open hat, and that's what I wanted to get started with and recreate. So I went into my London drum stash and I have this quick super bounce reverse effects. I just pulled that in, pushed reverse and changed the length of it from this to this, giving us that. I feel like that's pretty close to the effects that we used on Uptown, and then I just pulled in a simple open hat to give us the beginnings of our drum pattern. I can basically already hear where the snares are gonna go, so let me get started doing that. I think I'm happy with the snare pattern. Now it's time to add a clap for these snares to bounce off. This clap should do the job. As you can see, hat by itself, snare by itself, then layered snare and hat, and that really helps build bounce. Super crazy. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this clap pattern for now. I think it's time to throw in this kick, well, kick stomp. I feel like kick stomps work way better in these beats than just a normal kick, so this is the one I've gone for. And it's time to draw that in. And I think I pretty much already know what I want to do with these kick stomps. I think this should pretty much do the job. Keeping the kicks more basic in these beats is super important. There's so much going on with all the other drum elements that this needs to be super simple. And that's it, man. The beat is basically done. I'm just going to add in 3 more little perks. Got this laser perk, a little bounce snare, and this flick perk as well. All, once again, from the London Archive drum stash. Link down in the description. With the drums done, all we have left to do is arrange the beat. Since this is a tutorial, I've kept the arrangement pretty simple. I just added a low pass little intro. And then I threw on the Cartier Loski vocals so you can really hear how it sounds. But before I play the final beat, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you do want to get my London Archives kit, so top link in the description, use code CHY, C-H-Y, to get 10% off. Thank you for watching, and here's the final beat.